So, hello everyone. So we're going to start this tutorial by uh, adding the dependency. So the idea is for you to be able to create your form block and use the block pattern that's during your coding. So the first thing we're going to do is to go to the pub document and add the dependency. So to get the dependency, your browser that's already loaded the page. So this is the dependency we'll be using. So you can just copy this, then you go to your VS Code and then or whatever app you're using. So then you paste this, then you Control S to sync. That's it will get the dependency online. So while doing that, you can actually go to our lib and just create a new folder. Maybe let's say we want to do login. So create a login. So a login folder first. Then maybe if you're having let's say provider, your provider is here. Then you have your views. Then maybe if you also include a widget. So the advantage of using this dependency, it actually allows you to follow the block pattern. So for here also we can still create another folder called maybe block. So inside this block now we'll create a file called and let's say login form block, then dot. So then inside this now we can now create the class that will handle the validation and maybe sending to all the logics that uh, our form will be doing. Maybe if you want to confirm is if a particular password is equal to another, you can also do them here. So let's create a class. So let's call this maybe login form block. So we can extend, then we extend the form block. So, but it's a generic class, this form block itself. So it accepts a response and a success response and a failure response. So you can add it. So sometimes maybe you may want to return another class as a success response. So you can see this success response and failure response. So you could actually change this to any class you want. Maybe if we wanted to return another class, we could actually do that also. So here we can just press Control dot, that's to import the necessary, that's create missing override, which is the missing override is this unsubmitting. So whenever you call the submit, maybe with your elevated button in the main UI, so it automatically comes to this place. Then from here also you can echo another success to go back to the main view, so it updates some stuff there. So from here now we can create a final email to be equal to text feed block. So we add a validation, then it takes in an array, so we can add a feed, that's feed validate block validators dot, then you can use email. The advantage of adding this is that it makes sure that your whatever is entered into this particular block, this feed, that's the email feed, it follows the normal email types, that's the format it should be. Then again we could add that's feed block validator that's required. So it makes sure that your user, they have to enter something in there. So that's it for here. So we can create another one maybe for the password, then to be equal to that's text feed block. So taking validator, so it takes in an array. So we do the same thing also, feed block validator Then we'll just add required here. So just add required. So now after this, now we can go on to add a checkbox. That's let's say maybe bowling bowling feed. Then you do something like bowling block feed block, then something like this. So from this now, what we need to do again now is to add a constructor. So a constructor of login form block. Then what we're going to do inside here is to add feed blocks. Then it takes in an array also. So this here where we had the email, anything that's not added here, even if on creating it here, and you try to add it on the main view, it will not show once it's not added here. So it's this now that will mix all the feeds to show. So then comma, then the enter the boolean feed also. So then with this now, we are done for now. So we can now go to our view and maybe create a class. So we could create our class by saying maybe let's say login sorry, login then screen dot. So here now we could create a stateless widget. So we can call this uh, login screen. So with this now, what we need to do again here is to create a block provider. So everything we'll be doing will be wrapped inside this block provider. Then this creates also the block provider takes in this. Then we just add the login form block here. So then after this we create a child. So a child. So this child will take in a builder. It will take in a builder. So and this builder takes in the context also. So but inside this context, let's press Ctrl S to reformat our code. So inside this now, we can now get a reference to our form block. So let's call it form block. Then to be equal to that's the context dot read. So but here we had in a class to tell the type of this class of this stuff we're getting. So we have this. So from under here now we can now return scaffold. So we can have an app bar. So an app bar to takes in a title. Then the title is a text. Then let's say this is log in page. So that's it for here. So let's Control S to save our code and see the changes. So yes, we are yet to hook it up with the main. So we can go to our main class here. Let's delete every other thing that's not needed. So then we can change this to our login screen. Then remove this title. So if we save and reload, so we can see our changes here, right? So now let's go back to our view. So from here now, this scaffold takes in another body called a body. So this body is the listener, the form block listener. So, and this listener takes in a generics also. The generics, the first one here is the name login form block. Then the response types, string, and also the string class. So then inside here now we have a child, sorry, we have a child. So the child now can be maybe a single child scroll view. Then inside this we can have a child called column. So then we can have a children. So let's Control S to reformat this. So it will show on the main UI. So here now we can now start adding our feeds now. So the first feed we're going to add is for the email. So we're going to use text feed block builder, that's the name. So then each of these now will now take in the form block dot email. Now, so with this we could add a suffix button to it if you want. Then as you use suffix dot, so you could add suffix stuff here, but we're going to use this for the password, not for this. So, but for this one, we're going to add a prefix instead. So to add a prefix, instead taking the normal decoration we give into our text feed. So the decoration we use input decoration, then we add in a label text of let's say email. Then after this we add our prefix icon. So we take a normal icon, which is icons dot, then we can say email. So with this, okay, I think we forgot to add a comma here. So let's save this and go to our emulator. You can see this already added. It's added already. So then the next one we're going to add is the we can see there's no need for any controller here. So the next one we're going to add is text, is for the password, text feed, that's block builder. So then this one will be form block dot password. So this is for the password. So we can add a decoration, input decoration. So we could add a label text. Then this one will be password. So Control S to save. So then after this we add a here we can add a suffix button for hiding and showing. So you add suffix button dot upscale text. Then you, for the prefix button, you can just add a lock screen kind of image. So the prefix also takes in an icon. Then inside this we have icons dot, then you can use the lock or whichever one you want. So with this now, you could see these errors here. You could add constant here to make sure that it does not reboot every time. So this is the power of lints. So also here also we could add our constant here to follow the best practice. So then after this now we can go on to add the boolean, that's the checkbox one. So we need to add it inside a sized box. Then we give it a width of, let's say, maybe 200. So then we take in a child. So the child now is a You can see the checkbox feed block builder. So inside this, now it takes in the 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 bowling form feed, which is the form block. Then you add the bowling feed. Then also it takes in a child, uh, takes in a child. So I think a child. Think we are inside the wrong bracket. Uh, so it takes in a body. So the body can be, let's say, a container. So then we can add an alignment to the container as alignment dot center left. We'll see the effect soon. Center left, then takes in a child, which is the child now will be the text. Let's say the text contains maybe click me to continue. So something like this. Let's press Ctrl S to reformat. So also we could see the changes on uh, you could see the changes on the you can see the changes here. This is added already. So you see the obscure, that was the password. Then okay, that's it for here. So now let's add the final widget on the screen, which is the button to be clicked. So let's take in an elevated elevated button. So we add the on press. So instead of adding this on press, we could do something like the form block dot submit directly. So but we'll not add the bracket at the front so it does not execute immediately. So after this, now we add a child of let's say a text. So then we just add in a word like maybe submit, uh, say submit. So let's add a constant also at the front of this text to make sure it does not rebuild. So after this, now we can save our code. Then we can go to our view. We can see this we can see the email, the password. There are others also for confirm email. So I'll give you a link to where you could actually see my example of this. So just check down in the description, you see that. So then after this, now there are some methods we still need to add under this listener now. Under this listener, we can add methods like on failure. So this one shows when you have a failure. Then maybe on submit failed also. So this also is another one. Maybe when the submission fails, then you could have another one like on submitting. So whenever the button is clicked for submitting, so this is the method that's first called. So then we could have on success also, on that's on success. So it takes in a context and a state also. So I will just copy in the success screen and the loading screen to avoid wasting of our time screen here. So change this to login login screen. So I could actually put this in another folder. So but I don't want to waste much of our time. So we'll just call this in our code. So for the on submitting now, we could call loading dialog dot show Then for on submission field also, we want to hide. That's loading dialog.hide. So it's dismiss the dialog. Then on failure, also want to hide this. So we just copy this and paste it here. So on success now, that's where we move to the next screen. So so for this failure, we could maybe decide to show a snack bar. So we could use this scaffold messenger dot of the context dot show snack bar. Then we show snack bar. So we had a text. So it takes in let's say please make sure all feeds are filled. Sorry, using the shorts are filled. Then for here we could add a constant here to make sure it's not repeating. So with this also on the success screen, we can go to the next screen, which is navigator of context, then dot push replace, then material page route, then the builder takes in an anonymous method. So we are, since we're not using what's inside, so we just do something like this, then call arrow, then the name of the class success screen. So with this now, we've shown the success screen. So we can now go back to our still showing there's an error somewhere. So okay, that's here. So with this now, with this we can go back to our form block here. So to get the values of what is entered on those feeds, we could just call email. So all you're uploading to APIs, you could actually do them here. So you could call email.value. So and it will give you the value that's to the email. Same for the password.value, then boolean feed also. So what we're going to do here is we're going to try to do what a normal API will do. So let's delay, then we add a duration. So let's say in seconds, let's say 1 second. So it waits for 1 second. So with this now, we can add a constant to make sure it does not repeat again. So constant, then here we could say something like if the boolean feed dot value is true, so that means if it is checked, so we can emit uh, a success, that's emit success. So but else if the value is wrong and if it's not checked, so we could emit failure. Yes, emit failure. So let's save our code and restart our app. So with this now, as our app has not restarted, so let's make sure we restart the app. So I think it has restarted now. So with this now, if you click on submit, you could see this feed is required, this feed is required. So that's the advantage of using this form block. So you can see there's no need for checking if it's empty or not. So using this feed block validation that's required, make sure that everything is filled before it can go to the next class and next place. So if you decide to just put in any random stuff, also you can see the email address is badly formatted, but let's change this to something else. So we could use something like maybe jj at gmail.com. So you could see the error has disappeared. Then for these, we can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so something like that. So you could show with this. You can see all handling those stuffs by yourself. That suffix button dot review value. It's does all of this. So imagine if you click submit, you could see. Please make sure all fields are filled. That's because it we emit a success when this bolding field is not true. So if we decide to click on this now and submit, you could see that we are in the success screen. So you could go back and keep on trying this stuff and see how it works. So with this, I think we've come to the end of this tutorial. Please, if you enjoyed the tutorial, please try to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks very much for joining. See you in the next one.